But you know, it wasn't always that way. You know that, don't you? Right? So just in case you don't, and I don't want to waste this time going into it, but you have to know that I'm still a waitress at 30 years of age, having been a waitress for 7 years, making $400 a month. Did you know that, Atlanta? And who said no? Where the hell have you been? Do you have any idea how many times I've told that story? Right? But since they don't know it, just very briefly, which is, at the age of 30, after being a waitress for 7 years, I knew that maybe there was something more for me than $400 a month. But I thought, I know, I'll open my own restaurant. My mom was a secretary and sold Avon on the side. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. 81st in Oglesby, which is the hood. It is said, right, that I'm a black woman trapped in a white woman's body. My family didn't have money. I was never supposed to have money. I never got a grade above a C. When I grew up, I had total dyslexia. I couldn't read, I couldn't write, and look at me today. Now, why did that happen? Why am I standing up here not having been educated in finance, not having the background, not being educated, all the excuses that I'm sure you use as to why you don't have the money you should have in your life? Because I followed a passion. I followed one step after another step. And I learned a great lesson. And that lesson was, every no leads you that much closer to a yes. Like, I learned that God permits U-turns. And so, whatever direction you are going, if you follow it, and you don't get off of that direction, if you know you found your passion, just keep following it until it puts you where you are meant to be. But how do you get there? What do you do now? You came to this conference because you wanted to get motivated, probably to be what? More successful, to make more money, to make more out of the money that you made, and to lose weight. Now, Jillian has been trying to get me to lose 20 pounds for 20 years. It just hasn't happened. Right? I'm sure told you her 4 words. Right? Did she tell you that this morning? Did she share that with you? But she usually tells you, it just takes 4 words. Move more, eat less. My 4 words are, what do you think they are? Right? Spend less, save more. But here's the problem. We don't get as much joy out of saving as we do spending. It just doesn't give us that joy, so we waste so much money. We waste money we don't have to impress people we don't even know or like. What is wrong with you, Atlanta? So, since I don't know what I'm talking about today, let me see if I can find out a little bit about you. And don't you lie to me, Atlanta. Don't you lie to Suze Orman. I want you to stand and stay standing if you have credit card debt. Please stand.
I'm here.
Stay standing. I want you to stay standing and stand if you have credit card debt, car loan debt, mortgage debt, student loan debt, 401k debt, personal debt. Stand up, Atlanta. Now, I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them how much debt you have.
6 figures. Yeah. But, well, no, it's not 6. About 7. About 7.
I can't talk to you about money because you don't have any.
Amen.
So, in the few minutes that I have with you, let me give you a financial plan for each and every one of you. Because you've had enough motivation, maybe you've had whatever, but this is your personal financial plan. There is a law of money, and the law of money goes like this. Power attracts money, powerlessness repels it. Money cannot do anything on its own. You are the ones who go out and you earn it. You are the ones who get a paycheck and you decide, are you going to save it, spend it, invest it, or waste it? Money has no power on its own. If I drop a $20 bill here, that $20 bill would stay there until I myself bent down and picked it up. Money, therefore, flows through people. Now let's think about people for a second. When you are powerless in life, maybe you just broke up, you lost a job, whatever it may be. When you are powerless in life, you repel people. Isn't it true? When you are powerless, you call up your best friend and you tell them everything that's gone wrong and they're there for you. Call them a second time. Or a third time. Or a fourth time. They don't want to hear it anymore. Because they have their own problems. They have their own things that they are going through. So when you are powerless, you repel people. Since people control money, when you are powerless, you repel money. Got that? When you are powerful, everything is going right. You feel great about how you look, how you feel, everything about you. When you are powerful, you attract people. People control money, and therefore when you are powerful, you attract money. You want people to buy homes for you, from you, if you're selling them. You want people to walk into your store. You want people to hire you. You want people to give you a pay raise. They feel your power and they are attracted to you. And that is what gives you money. What is the one thing that renders you more powerless than anything else in life? Debt. Debt. And you all have it. Almost all of you have credit card debt. What is credit card debt? Credit card debt is where you are paid for your present day desires, but your costs are going to be your future day needs as you get older. Do you get that, everybody? You see something and you desire it. You want it. You don't have the money for it. You don't need the money for it as long as you have available credit on your credit cards. So you put it on a credit card, and then the credit card statement comes in, and you pay the minimum payment due. Because why pay more when all they want from you is $10? And you keep doing that, and you keep doing that, and you're doing exactly what they want you to do. And yet, you're wondering why you don't have money? You don't have money in your life because you are not the powerful men and women that you were all born to be. You are all hiding behind the things that you are wearing. Your clothes, your jewelry, your makeup, your cars, your homes, the schools you send your kids to. Those are all facades, everybody. The real thing, the thing that everybody feels and everybody sees is what you have inside. Your self-worth. How many times have you heard me say your self-worth determines your net worth? Why is that? Because when you feel less than, you spend more than. right? So if you don't have the money that you want in your life today, it isn't a matter that you're not being paid enough, that you're in a bad relationship, you're this and you're that. It's because how you devalue yourself. Do you understand that, Atlanta? When you undervalue who you are, the world undervalues what you do. When you undervalue who you are, the world undervalues what you do. If you were to write down right here and right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how much do you value yourself? Few of you said a 10. Most of you didn't say anything. 10. Oh, I have a man who's a man that values himself as a 10. Of course you do. Of course you do, because you were smart enough to come here today. But want to know what's interesting about men? Men on a certain level were taught to value themselves. Women, on the other hand, it is our nature to nurture. It is us that have the ability, in most cases, to give birth. It is us, in most cases, that have the ability to feed that which we have given birth to. Right? So a woman will take care of her spouse, her parents, her children, her brothers, her sisters, her aunts, her uncles, her employers, her employees, her pets, and her plants before she will take care of herself. Now, sir, you, on the other hand, right, you know to take care of yourself first, and that's what we need to learn to do as well, ladies. You know, when you get on a plane and they say to you, when the oxygen mask falls down, put it on your face first, then your kids. That gentleman, we have no problem with that whatsoever. You, on the other hand, would put it on your kid's face first and then your face. The financial oxygen mask is the same. You will take your money and you will make sure that your children are fine no matter what. Even if that means you go without, you go without, you go without, and you think you're doing them a favor, and you are not. You are not. Because they can feel that you're suffering. They know something isn't right. They don't know it's about money. Maybe they think it's about them. But the real lesson in life is to say, and you heard me say it in the video, no out of love for yourself versus yes out of fear of what other people are going to think about you. You know, when you have money, and I talk to Oprah about this a lot, when you have money, I'm serious.
It's no big deal.
She would call it the Bank of O. And I would tell her she needed to change that to the Bank of No. No. Because you can never solve a financial problem with money. Ever, ever, ever. When there is a financial problem in your life, that problem is there to teach you something about yourself. Lack of self-worth equals lack of net worth. You keep putting money into this empty vessel that has holes in it. It will go in and it will go out. You fill up the holes and then you put money in it. Now you have money. So you have to go within Atlanta to see why you are doing without. So debt is bondage. You will never ever have financial freedom if you are in bondage. How do you get out of debt? By doing 3 things. And I'd like you to try this for the next 60 days. Are you willing to make a commitment to be powerful men and women that you were born to be, Atlanta? For the next 60 days, 2 months. I want you to live below your means, but within your needs. Just because you have money in your pocket doesn't mean that you should spend it. Just because you can afford a new car doesn't mean that you should buy it. Have you ever noticed you were making $10,000 a year, and you said, if I was just making 20, I'd be so great. And then you said, if I was just making 40, I'd be even better. And then you said, but if I make 80, and it doesn't matter how much money you make, because the more money you make, the more money you spend. So live below your means. As more money starts to come in, don't spend it. Stay living at the levels that you're at. So below your means, but within your needs. If you need something, of course, buy it. Now, how do you do that? For the next 60 days, you are to buy only needs versus wants. What's a want? A want is, I'm going out to lunch today at this restaurant. I'll think so. A need is, I need food at a grocery store. A want is gasoline in the car to go joyriding or wherever you're going to go. A need is gasoline in the car for you to go to work. If you just ask yourself, is this a need versus a want before you whip out that credit card? If the answer to that question is, I want this, do not buy it, do not buy it. The third thing is, as I mentioned earlier, can you try to get as much pleasure out of saving as you do spending? Why is it that you think a new jacket's going to fill up that hole in your heart? It's not. However, that money that you would have spent on that jacket in a savings account that you don't have a penny in will fill you up, because it will make you feel more secure, which is the goal of money. And when you feel more secure, you feel more powerful. When you feel more powerful, you attract people. When you attract people, you attract money. When you attract money, you have more money. When you have more money, you feel more secure. When you feel more secure, you feel more powerful. Are you getting how it works, Atlanta? Yeah. Now, when it comes to credit card debt, a lot of you don't know how to get out of credit card debt besides that. Which credit cards do you pay off? What do? You have maybe a low FICO score. Do you all know what FICO scores are? Good, right? So, right? Trust me, there was a day years ago that I used to say that, and they used to, do you know? I'm going to tell you a story. Here I am, back in 1999, 2000, and on the Oprah Winfrey Show, which I was on 30 times, by the way. Probably a Yama was on more than me, so big deal, Suze. I'm so excited for you. Have you ever heard of Yama speak live? So hot, it's not even funny. That woman can strut her stuff. Anyway, right? And I want to tell the world for the first time about FICO scores. And the lawyers and the producers of the Oprah Show said, we have no idea what that is, Suze. You can't tell people about it. And now today, of course, we all know about it. But here you have credit card debt, possibly at high interest rates. And you don't have a good FICO score, and you don't know what to do. There is a company, there are many companies known as debt management companies. They are under the auspices of the NFCC, the National Foundation of Consumer Credit. If you go to these companies, they put you through an educational program, you pay them, they pay your credit cards, and chances are they will lower your interest rate to 0%. It's something, if you are in a struggle or your friends are in a struggle, you might want to think about. So you're now, number one, going to try to get out of credit card debt. After you are out of credit card debt, your next step is, every single one of you in this room is to have an 8-month emergency fund. You never know in life when you are going to be in an accident, when you are sick, when you get laid off, when all of a sudden you're not in a relationship anymore and something happens to you. You need your own account. I am not talking about an 8-month emergency fund with your spouse's name on it. Do you hear me, ladies? Because it is essential for you to be a powerful woman, that you have the power to stay or the power to go if you want to. And if you do not have credit cards in your own individual name, if you do not have savings accounts in your own individual name, you very possibly one day can find yourself in a situation where you are stuck, and you don't want to be stuck. Because when you are stuck, you are powerless. And what happens when you are powerless? You repel money. So your own account, your own credit cards. 8 months. Why do I want you to have an 8-month emergency fund? Because you never know how long it's going to take you to get another job, to become okay. When these people, they come up and they go, 3 months emergency fund, I can't, I don't next off. Are you crazy? 8 months. Next, for those of you who are working, and you are working for corporations that offer a retirement account, a 401k, a 403b, if you're in the military, a thrift savings plan. Listen closely to me. If your corporation or nonprofit offers a Roth 401k, 403b, or TSP, I want you, with all your new contributions, to invest in the Roth accounts. A lot of you are being told, my employer matches the contribution, which means you put in $1 and your employer gives you 50 cents, up to usually 6% of your base pay. And they're telling you that they're only going to match your contribution if you have a traditional 401k or 403b. That is not correct. You are misunderstanding them. You can put as much as you want in a Roth retirement account at work. Their contributions, your employer's contributions, are going to go into the traditional 401k or 403b. Got that? And that is because the Roth is funded with after-tax contributions. They're matched to you. They're not paying taxes on it. They're taking it as a tax write-off. So it goes into the traditional one. What are the differences between the two? With a Roth, any type of Roth retirement account, you fund it with after-tax contributions. Now, a lot of you don't want to do that because you like the tax write-off that you're getting. In my opinion, the biggest mistake you will ever make. And I'll tell you why in a second. You fund it with after-tax contributions, but here's what's so great. Later on in life, when you go to take it out, it's 100% tax-free. When you die and it goes to your children or any of your beneficiaries, they get to take it out 100% tax-free. In a pre-tax retirement account, you get to take the contribution that you put in off your taxes, so it's going to save you some money. but it grows tax deferred, which means you're only deferring the taxes until later on when you go to take it out, and then you take it out at whatever tax bracket you happen to be at. When you die and it goes to your beneficiaries, they withdraw it at whatever tax bracket they are at. Now, listen closely to me. Next law of money. Invest in the known versus the unknown. What is the known? The known is your tax brackets today. What is the unknown? The unknown is your tax bracket 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. Do you really believe with the astronomical deficits that the United States of America has right now and is growing every second of the day, that the only alternative to solve this will be to raise tax brackets not just on the rich, but on everybody across the board? I don't know if that is true or not true, but I do know this: what you see in your retirement account is what you want to get. You don't want to see that you've saved $100,000 or $300,000 or whatever, and then you go to take it out and you only get $50,000. You only get $100,000. You also want money available to you that you can take out in a lump sum if you want. Why? Let me skip to real estate for a second. I personally think we are pretty much at the top of the real estate market. So if you want to buy a home, you might want to wait a year or two, and you might find homes are a little bit cheaper than they are now. But if you have a home and you know you are going to stay in that home for the rest of your life, your goal is to have the mortgage on that home paid off by the time you retire. Why? Your mortgage payment is your largest monthly expense that you have, bar none. So let's just say you have a $200,000 mortgage. And let's say your FICO score wasn't so great, so you have a 6% fixed interest rate for 30 years. Your monthly payments will be $1,200 a month, or $14,400 a year. Listen closely now. After 20 years of paying $14,400 a year on a $200,000 mortgage, after 20 years of paying that, do you know that you still owe $100,000 on that mortgage? So here you are now, and you got the mortgage when you were 45. Now you're 65. Now, for whatever reason, you decide to retire. You still owe 10 years on that mortgage of $14,400 a year. How much do you need in a retirement account to generate $14,400 a year, especially if it is not a Roth retirement account? You need approximately $600,000 at a safe 3%, which is $18,000 a year. After taxes is your $14,400, simply to pay your mortgage. Don't you think it would be so much easier to just pay off $100,000? That's doable. I am trying to teach you how to make more out of less, to outsmart the banks and everybody at their own game, where they are making money off of you because you don't know what to do. So it is very important that you understand what I just said. If you have a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA or whatever it may be, and you have $100,000 in there, you can take it out tax-free, pay off your mortgage. Now you don't have a mortgage payment. Now you're doing okay. If you have $100,000 in a non-Roth retirement account and you take it out, you're going to lose at least 50% of it to taxes because all 100,000 will be counted as ordinary income. So what is your plan? Your plan is you are going to ask the corporations that you are working for, do they have a Roth 401k, 403b, TSP? If they do, your new contributions are going to go into that. Be very careful. Any money that is in a non-Roth retirement account, when you convert it, let's say you have everything in a 401k and you want it in a Roth, you're going to pay ordinary income taxes on any amount you convert. So be careful. Did you all understand that? If you aren't offered a 401k or a Roth at work, or even if you are, you also are able to have a Roth IRA. Now, in most cases, you have to qualify for it income-wise. If you are under 50, full contribution is $6,000 a year. If you are 50 or older, full contribution is $7,000 a year. To put in the full contribution, if you are single, you need to make under $122,000 a year of adjusted gross income to qualify for a Roth. If you are married, filing jointly, you have to make under $193,000 of adjusted gross income. How many of you in this room qualify for a Roth IRA? Raise your hands. All right, listen closely again. A lot of you are afraid to put money in a retirement account because you're afraid that if you put it into this retirement account, you're not going to be able to touch it till you're 59 and a half in most cases. So you just don't do it. For those of you who qualify for a Roth IRA, any money that you put into a Roth IRA, you can take out at any time without taxes or penalties, regardless of your age or how long that money has been in there. So you can start putting money into a Roth IRA. You put $6,000 in this year, $6,000 next year, $6,000 the year after. You have $18,000 you put in, it's now grown to $20,000. Anything up to that $18,000 you can take out without taxes or penalties, regardless of your age, people. You don't have to worry about it. It's the $2,000 that money made that has to stay in there until you're 59 and a half. So you could use a Roth IRA as your emergency fund if you needed to. Am I making sense, Atlanta? Now you say to me, but Susie, I know I'm working, but I can't save any money. Really, Susie, I can barely pay my bills today while I have a paycheck coming in. Here's the question, Atlanta. If you can barely pay those bills today while you have a paycheck coming in, how are you going to pay those exact same bills when you are an old lady like me and you no longer have a paycheck coming in? You're not going to be able to. Do you understand that? So today is the day. Today is the day that you're going to put yourself first. And rather than spending $50 on some item for your child or somebody, you're going to take that $50 and you're going to put it into a Roth IRA. Now remember, a Roth IRA is simply like a house that holds your money. With that money, you buy certain investments with it, or just if you don't know what to do, just put it in a savings account within it. I personally love brokerage firms such as TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab to open up Roth IRA accounts at. I am not paid to say that. I have no affiliation with them. I do not like banks. I don't like them because normally if you invest with them, they're going to charge you a fee and a commission. And there are ways to invest now with those 3 discount brokerage firms that wouldn't cost you anything to invest. Now, how do you know where you should be investing? Listen, I don't have time on this stage to give you an entire course, but I do have a course to give you. If you go to, and if we can put up the slide, if you go to SuzeU.com and you put in the passcode MOTIVATE, this is a 7-part course that will teach you every single thing that you need to know. It's free, right? Every single thing that you need to know about investing, retirement accounts, buying a home, buying a car, getting out of debt, all of that is there. There are 300,000 students taking it. They, of course, paid a whole lot more than you just did. But because I don't have time to educate you on everything that I want you to know, this is where I want you to go to learn. And you should give that code to as many people as you know. I don't care if you post it on the internet. I don't care what you do with it, because the goal is to educate America about their money. Because everybody deserves to have a life of financial freedom. Every single person. It is your birthright. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you give birth to that right. Another thing that you should do is you should all listen to my podcast, Women and Money. It is fabulous. It is new. If you don't know how to find it, just go to SuzeOrman.com/podcast and it will take you there. You will learn what you need to know about who you are and what to do with money. Just very briefly, if you are a mother or father out there and you are barely making it yourself, do not put your future at risk to send your kids to some college. If they have to, let them go to community school. Let them go in the military. I don't care where they go.
All right, tell them.
But you are not bad parents because you don't have the money to send them to school. Where did you get that? The school does not make a child, the child makes their school. Right? Be very careful with letting your kids take out student loans. You are never to let them take out private loans. You are never to sign a plus loan for them. And they should only take out as much in student loans as they are going to make the very first year they graduate. If you let them take out more because they don't understand it, I am telling you, they are going to be one of the thousands of emails I get saying, Susie, I hate my life. I'm 27 years old. I can't pay off the student debt. Help me, Susie. When it comes to insurance, the only type of life insurance you should have is